Let's go! Hi, everybody! Hey, it's me, Pee-wee! Oh, it's so good to see all these smiling faces today. I hope I don't have to do this voice the whole time. Welcome, everybody, to Creative Mornings. It's October. We've got a special treat for you today. I see some people who have dressed up in their highest visionary self. Thank you for playing along. I'm here in my alter ego. So if you were here a few months ago, my mission is to give my bliss away. So when I do that, this is me dressed up, being bold and being blissful. So I hope you enjoy it. So I have a little remote. Let's get started. How many of you are new? Raise your hands if it's your first time. All right. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you all. So briefly, Creative Mornings was started by Danny Bernstein and I, this chapter on Monterey Peninsula. But there's 250 chapters worldwide. And we've been doing it for about a year. So this is the place to come together if you're not at work on one Friday morning a month to network, meet each other, and listen to a keynote speaker who will give you some wisdom, some gold to take home. So I hope you have a good experience. It's a bit of a workshop today. But before we get into the speaker, we've got a couple of announcements. My name is Mike Buffo, and I'm a local fourth-generation Monterey Italian. And I make videos for anybody who calls me from my Google ads, and I answer the phone and I say, sure. I do a lot of real estate video, live streaming, and mini docs of nonprofits and documentaries. But today, we have some partners that I'm going to talk to you a little bit about. Wave Street Studios, this is where we are. They've been here a long time, and they've recently expanded their repertoire of events. And they now do a lot of evening events right here, and they have a new bar license. So they're doing a lot of jazz concerts and reggae festivals and a lot of fun concerts right here. And this stage is set up for a play series for short one-acts that opened last night, and they have another performance tonight. So if you're not doing anything and you want to see some really fun art, some performances right here, it's at 7 o'clock. And there's a poster in the tea room if you want to check that out. All right, but our presenting sponsors today is Teeth Whitening Monterey. Is Diego here today? Diego, I'm going to invite you on the stage in just a second, but first, I'm going to play the commercial I made for him, and I hope you enjoy it. And then he's going to come up and give you a minute pitch about what Teeth Whitening Monterey was really all about. Let's get started.
Welcome to Teeth Whitening Monterey. Erase years of stains in minutes with our FDA-compliant gel and unique blue light technology that produces immediate results. Enjoy a relaxing experience, a lunchtime appointment, or ask about our group and bridal party packages. Why wait weeks or months to see the results you want? Save money and get the results you want today. Schedule your treatment today starting at $99. Visit teethwhiteningmonterey.com.
All right, Diego, here, take it away.
Oh, good morning. So Teeth Whitening Monterey, we started Teeth Whitening Monterey 8 years ago so that we could be able to bring teeth whitening to everybody. See, when you go to the dentist, you're going to have to pay about $800 for teeth whitening. And for most people, after they do all their dental work, that becomes something that they cannot afford. So you get a cleaning, you get some x-rays, you get your fillings or whatever, and then you're just pretty much tapped out, right? Rich people should not be the only ones that are able to have their teeth whitened. Everybody should be able to smile. So my wife and I, we decided to start Teeth Whitening Monterey. It took us about 2 years to get the business going. And this was in 2016. We opened our doors, and we have seen thousands of people since. And we have made it accessible for people to get their teeth whitened and to maintain their smile. See, when you get your teeth whitened, you're going to pay about $160, right? But if you go to the dentist and you get your teeth whitened, the next you pay $700 to $1,000, and when you want to come back, you're going to pay it again. Just simply because of the economics of the business of providing dental care. With us, you pay $160. When you come back, it's $54. So you'll always be able to maintain your teeth. Why is that? Why do people need to come back? Well, usually we stain our teeth because we drink our coffees, our teas, our sodas. You're probably not going to stop doing those things just because you whiten your teeth, right? You're alive, you're eating, you're drinking, and that's what happens. So we're able to maintain that, right? A lot of people, they always tell me, I'm not going to drink any more coffee. I'm not going to drink any more tea. They do. We're able to keep that smile looking great and bright at an affordable price. So we give access to people. I get people all the way from San Francisco all the way to San Luis Obispo. So we're doing a great job with that. And we had this amazing commercial that our friend here made for us about 6 years ago.
Yeah, a while ago.
And it's been great. It got us a lot of business. I think it's about time we do another one.
Yeah.
All righty. Thank you.
You know, I don't need this one. The best part about getting your teeth whitened is a break in your life, because there's a nice comfy chair with this crazy mouth guard spreading thing and a light right here, and then for me it's just you just lie there and meditate. I read the paper actually like this, reading the paper for 45 minutes. So it's kind of a nice break over lunch or something like that. So I hope you go check out Diego, Teeth Whitening Monterey online. All right. If you want to play a commercial, you can do it for $50. And it really helps us keep this whole chapter sustainable. This is volunteer organizations. No one's making money, but we do have some hard costs like the coffee and the space. Today's theme is vision.
Do you want to hear that? Good morning, everyone. I'd love everyone to close your eyes. And I want you to imagine you're not going in, you're going out. Letting yourself kind of float up past the clouds, past the atmosphere, up into space, into the quiet. Just seeing the stars as you get closer. And you're going to turn around and look back at the image of the earth. Seeing that zoomed out perspective that lets you truly see the big picture. Just sitting in the wonder, the beauty of feeling so small, yet part of something so big. And just allowing all the things that are back on earth, the noise, the distractions, the overwhelm, just letting them go for a moment. Take in another nice deep breath through your spacesuit, of course. And then go ahead and open your eyes and allow yourself to travel back to the very real, very physical, very gravity-rich earth. I just want you to think about that vision, that perspective when we zoom out, right? Out of our daily lives, out of whatever happened this morning that wasn't part of the plan. I have a little one with a stomach flu right now. And to think about and feel, more importantly than think, but what is your vision for life? Now today, the next 40-ish minutes that we're going to be together, I'm not going to be speaking at you very much. I'm going to really ask you to let yourself go there, to workshop. That's what we're here for, right? And I have to tell you, before I dive in, I want to tell you you're all part of my vision. I'm from Oregon originally. I grew up in a coastal town and daughter of a commercial fisherman. And when I moved to California, or when I moved to the Bay Area 12 years ago, The first time that my husband brought me to Monterey, to Carmel, as soon as we crusted over like Sand City and I could see the ocean, I just felt home in my cells, in my body. And over the last 12, 13 years, as we came here, on weekends or sometimes long trips in the summer, and my nervous system relaxed, and I slept better, and I was more patient. I just always felt like home. And we lived in the Bay for the last 13 years. And I always dreamt about living in Carmel. Like, someday I'm going to retire there, like many people do. And about 8 months ago, I said to my husband, why are we waiting? And I set this intention of moving back to the small town, to the intimacy, to the support, and being able to tap into my creativity, into healing my nervous system, and all of these things. And we tried it out starting in June, and we made the decision in August to stay here, because the first 4 days I cried every day in gratitude and happiness for the people I met, for the sound bowl healing that was at my yoga studio. I was like, where has this been all my life? And you're all part of that. I literally, that intention of tapping into my creative, I don't even know how I found a Creative Mornings, and I reached out, so what do you call it? I RSVP'd, and then I met the incredible Mike. Can we give Mike a hand, please? He is like I just got to know him in the last 30 days, and he's such an incredible human being. He's running around, he's like, doing everything to serve. And to have this place to be able to tap into your creative and to be able to collaborate and connect with other people is such a gift. And I just want everyone just to take a moment to realize that. And also to recognize and like give yourself just a pat on the back, because you're here on a Friday morning. There's a lot of different things you could be doing than giving time back to yourselves. So thank you for being part of my vision come to life. So talking about vision, right? The thing about vision, like we were in outer space, it's really easy to see when you're zoomed out. It's easy to see and feel the big picture. But the reality is, like, as souls having a very human experience with very human annoyances, interactions, and problems, we can get really lost in the noise and the distraction and the overwhelm, and we can forget to tap back in to that bigger vision. So that's what we're going to be doing today. There we go. So first of all, what is vision? And I'm going to ask you to just like raise your hand or just shout it out. When you think about vision, what do you think about? Anyone? Possibility. I love that. That, by the way, is my soul's mission on earth, is to show people what is possible. So thank you for that. Anyone else? What is vision? Future. Hope. Hope. So I looked up the definition, and it's the ability to think about or plan the future with imagination or wisdom. I think, though, this word think can be dangerous, because we tend to be in our heads a lot and less in our bodies, less in our feeling, less in our innate knowing. I mean, I think you probably spend a lot more time than most and help people get there, right? So what we're going to do today is, yes, we're going to do a little bit of thinking, but we're really going to be tapping back in. I'm going to be doing breath work with you, and I'll let you know, you don't have to do anything except literally breathe, which you're all already doing, so it'll be really easy. But it's thinking about, it's planning, it's feeling into, it's dreaming about the future. And yes, we already have innate wisdom, but I like the imagination part, right? That we are only limited by our imagination. Or the masculine goal version of that is you can't hit a target you can't see. So I want to share a little story. February 2015. So my background, I studied journalism, and I worked at a daily paper for 3 years, and I loved it. And I had a bartending job to support my journalism habit, right? And I realized, as someone that grew up with a commercial fisherman father, and my parents were divorced, so my mom was a single mom, I did not want to live below poverty level the way that I was raised. And so I went into the world of sales. And I was in that world of sales. Well, I technically still am, because we're always, if we are a business owner, we're all in sales, right? But I was in that world, and I dreamt when my mind wandered about being an entrepreneur, about doing my own thing. And I finally left my job December 31st of 2014. And so this was me right here, like a month and a half into the incredible world of possibility that is entrepreneurship, right? And this woman in the middle is someone that I would call her a thought leader, but my very first personal development event I ever went to, knowing nothing, like what do I want to do with the rest of my life when I grow up? I went to this event and she facilitated over 2 days, about 150 women, really like getting clear on what you want in life. And I remember being so activated and lit up and like, someday I want to be on stages and I want to activate people and all of this. And I looked at her and it felt so far away. And I didn't know the steps. I didn't know how to get there, but I knew where I wanted to be. I knew what I wanted to be in my life. And this was a very full circle moment. This was in September, an event I hosted for the 4th year with 140 women. And she has different color hair now, but she was on the stage. She spoke, or we did a Q&A. And the coolest thing is this, so Lori, she's been on like 11 magazine covers and has a podcast with 50 million downloads. Her team ended up taking the audio from that. And one of my big goals, because she was the first podcast I ever consistently listened to, was to be on that podcast. They loved the Q&A so much that they put it on her podcast, a podcast she's interviewed Brene Brown, Mel Robbins, Tony Robbins, Jenna Kutcher, some of like the biggest names out there in personal development and entrepreneurship. And it was an episode that has now had, I don't even know, tens and tens of thousands of downloads. And I got to interview her. And it was the coolest thing. And I tell you this story, like Oprah says, because you are not responsible to know how you're going to create your vision. Your only job and responsibility and privilege is to dream up, what is this vision? What does this look like? What does it feel like? The look like is like the visualization of it. Because you will not create things in your life that you don't dream of. It's very rare. How many of you have ever done that? You've like, something amazing has happened that you might have never believed it was possible, but somewhere you dreamt it. How many of you have ever made a goal and that exact thing happened? Absolutely. I remember my first year in sales, in real estate sales, my manager said, write down the number that you want to make this year. Right? He didn't say plan. He didn't say reverse engineer. Like that is a good thing to know. But he said, write down the number. And I remember, and then he was like, double it. And I was like, ugh, right? But I wrote it down. And at the end of the year, I had made the exact amount, literally within like the hundreds of dollars, the exact amount. If I had had one house close less or more, it would have been a different amount. And that was a beautiful lesson at 25 years old to get, is that we literally only create what we believe is possible. So I want you to ask yourself, do you even remember what your vision is? Have you gotten so lost in the day-to-day that you forgot to tap back in, to dream, and then to give yourself permission to continue to evolve that dream? So I'm going to, not yet. The big thing I want to share is like vision is like a lighthouse. As a commercial fisherman, growing up on the Oregon coast, my dad, like there's lots of lighthouses, beautiful, infamous lighthouses. And your vision is the lighthouse. When you're on that sea of uncertainty and you're on the sea of life, your vision is the lighthouse that is going to pull you to the shore when you can't see anything else, if you just focus on the vision. And it also is going to be what pulls you through the noise. Right? This is not about being fearless. I was telling my 8-year-old this when he was getting his first filling this week. And I'll tell you, it took us 2 visits to the dentist and about an hour and 45 minutes of begging, pleading, and bribing. Because that needle they pull out to give you the numbing shot is huge. And you are not supposed to open your eyes. And if you do, it is all over. You're like, no. But I had to set for him, what is the vision on the other side of this? It was a really expensive Lego, I'll tell you. Yeah, that's and also video games at night. But you have to use that vision to anchor in. Because it's not about how brave you are, is your vision big enough to pull you through the fear, to pull you through the distractions? Because if it isn't, everything that is an excuse, which, by the way, they're all good reasons, right, is going to stop you. And we don't want to be humans that give up on our vision because of all of these very good excuses. We want to be humans that create what we desire despite the setbacks. But the thing is vision isn't long term. I think it's really easy to say, like, someday. but we have to take the daily action. I think there's a saying that's like, you don't become a millionaire with, broke habits. Like, you have to start living as if. You have to start taking action every day towards that vision. One of my other visions, and George Woods isn't here today, but one of my other visions is I want to create, I'm going to loosely call it affirmation rap because I don't know very many musical terms, but not really rap. Like when you sing, if anyone listens to Tony Jones, oh my gosh, if you don't, I would write that down, Toni Jones. She has this incredible affirmation music. She's a trauma-informed therapist. And I listened to that, I'm like, I want to create this. And I was like, I knew nothing about music. My clarinet experience in middle school is not going to take me there because I don't even remember any of it. So when I came to my first Creative Mornings and George was on stage, I was like, and so if you see a few of my classmates here, so I'm taking a songwriting class so I can learn how to do that. We have to take the steps today, the aligned action to create that vision, right? To put ourselves in the energy and the momentum towards it. So I am going to have you, if does anyone have anything to write with? Okay, a few of you. If you have something in your purse or backpack, grab it out. If you don't, I'm going to give you permission only now to pull out your phone and your notebook. And I'm going to give you a prompt. Little journal prompt, and we'll turn on some music. I'll give you about 2 minutes. And I want you to think about the last big vision you created for your life. And it maybe isn't like your big lifelong dream, but maybe it's the next 3 years or the next 5 years or the thing that you're excited about. And if you need to close your eyes and tap back into that, go for it. What is a vision right now on your heart? Like for me, for the last 6 years, it was moving to Carmel. That was not my big life vision, like my ultimate sole purpose, but I was like, that is a thing I can't stop thinking about. And then I want you to ask yourself, are my daily actions, like sit down and write down, what do I do every day, right? Am I taking actions daily that align with this vision? Or am I just letting this be a someday? I'm going to give you about 2 minutes. I just want you to start writing down what are the actions that do. And if you're finding that your actions don't align, what are the actions that would? As you look through the list of the things that you're spending your time and energy on, and listen, this is not about judgment. This is just about ownership. There are nights when I am stressed out that I watch reality TV. And I just have to ask myself, is this really in line with my big vision? Or can I turn on a podcast or an audiobook while I'm doing the dishes and laundry, after the kids go to bed? But ask yourself, which of these things are bringing me closer to my vision? Or which of these things are actively taking me away? It's not about right or wrong. It's about closer or further. Just like what we eat takes us closer or further to health. It's just information. And then I want you to circle 1 or 2 actions, whether you're doing them or not, that if done more consistently or with greater effort, would take you closer to that vision. How many of you maybe were a little challenged to tap back into that vision? You had to dust it off a little bit. Okay, a few of you, right? You're like, oh, what was that? Right, so there's some questions that you can ask yourself, and these are just kind of food for thought. If you are, when, not if, because I want you to all be tapping into your vision on a consistent basis, of like, what does my ideal future look like? If anything were possible, what would I create with this life? What impact do I want to have? Especially if you're feeling blocked on personally what you want to create, I find that when you start to think about how do you want to impact others, it's so much easier. It starts to really flow. Right? We don't limit ourselves when we're thinking about how can we help others. If I knew I couldn't fail, what would I do? What would I pursue? And then as a parent of a 5 and an 8-year-old, I like to ask myself, we know, kids watch you more than they listen. And I'm at a kid's age where they've called me out constantly. It's beautiful. I'm like, oh, yep, you're right. I did not do the thing I told you to do. So if you wanted to show the smaller people in your life what is possible, how would you show up? What are the choices that you would make? Okay. these can be hard questions. But the tapping in, why it's not always easy is because of the noise in our life. And again, a lot of us, we live here in the Bay, and you can actually hear like the ocean and the gulls, and there's a lot more space here than there is in probably a lot of the places you all have moved from, right? Because you've intentionally came here because there is room for magic. But if we look at our calendars, and we don't have room, so Lori Harder, that woman that I shared with you earlier, a few weeks ago, she shoots me a text. It was like 8 o'clock at night. She's like, Rebecca, are you available tomorrow to speak to a group? And it was on Zoom, so I didn't have to go anywhere. She's like, are you available tomorrow to speak? I have 2 different groups. I have an investor group for her company, and I have a membership group. She's like, I'd love you to come and speak on this topic. And I looked at my calendar and I said, I have not left any room for magic in my calendar. It was back to back to back. So I want you to ask yourself, where are you leaving room for magic in your life? Because if you don't have room to breathe, to exhale, you're probably not tapping into your vision. Vision does not happen, it's not created, and it's not tapped into when we're overwhelmed, when we're busy, when we're exhausted, when we're just trying to get through the day. So I want to ask you, when do you feel the most connected? And for me, I think that this is the most creative, because that's usually when we start tapping into our vision, is when we're in our creativity. So write it down, put it in your notes. When do you feel tapped in? Like, I know for me, my formula of creativity and vision is almost always movement of some type of inspiration. So like if I go to a class and the person that's leading it is like yelling inspiration to me, I'm like, yes. And I get done and I'm like, journal, 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 journal. Or that can look like a walk in nature with some meditation or visualization with like the sun on my face. What is your recipe? And if you're not sure, ask yourself, the last time you felt like really plugged in and you started getting all kinds of ideas and downloads, what were you doing in that moment? What were you doing? And you can write it down or put it in your phone. Because I don't want what you're thinking of to go back into a dusty shelf in your mind to be self-help. I want it to be something that you're going to leave here activated, and even if you're making a micro change. How many of you, raise your hands, how many of you it's when you're in movement, some type of movement, whether that's yoga or dance or anything, yes. How many of you it's when you're in nature, right? Guess what, you can do both of those things together. How many of you it's when you have intense emotional connection with another person where everything is possible? They're not like, well, what about this? They're not trying to reverse engineer all the risks for you. They're like, absolutely, you can do that. What about? Yeah. How can you create more magic in your life? By just combining those things. A walk with a friend in nature. It's pretty easy to do. How many of you consider yourself a leader here? I want to see every hand go up. Everyone, right? So whether you're a leader in your business, even if you're a team of one, you start with leading yourself, right? Whether you're a leader, you're a leader in your home, in your social circle. People that don't qualify, or I should say everyone qualifies as a leader. People that don't identify as a leader don't give up their Friday morning to learn. That is a leadership quality. Just a few things about leaders, because when I was thinking about vision, I was like thinking about the bosses I've had in my life before I became psychologically unemployable as an entrepreneur, okay? Yes. 72% of people say a clear vision is the most important quality of a leader. Now that is not just employees. That is your friends, that is your children, that is your community, that is your neighborhood. Clear vision. Because the best leaders I follow aren't necessarily the most brilliant people. They're not necessarily the most polished. They're people that are so passionate. I have I don't think it's a medical condition, but I call it, I tend to fall for people that are passionate about passion. I'm like, tell me more. I'm like, I have no skill in this, but I want to know and be part of it just because you're excited. How many of you get excited when other people are excited? Yes, that's leadership. That is their vision coming through. Companies with visionary leaders grow 4 to 6 times faster than those without. Sure, strategy is important. Execution is important. But what type of strategy or execution is going to happen if there isn't a clear, compelling, powerful vision? Right? It's like people don't buy products, they buy stories. They buy visions. And visionary leadership boosts employee resilience and engagement. Okay, so let's take out the employee word. How many of you have ever gone through some serious SHIT in your life? Right? Yes, sorry, again, my 5-year-old fortunately does not quite spell yet, but she definitely can repeat curse words when she hears them. Think about this in your family. Think about when you were going through that time and you decided, I'm going to show up despite what's going on because of this lighthouse of my vision that is calling me forward. I have, not myself, but with my loved ones, gone through cancer 3 times. I lost my boyfriend 14 years ago to cancer, and I've been through it twice with my husband. And I will tell you, the last time I had a 10-month-old, what got me through every day was not thinking about getting through every day. What got me through every day was the vision of having a family, of my family, of the hard things. Again, when your vision is big enough, right, you don't have to be brave. Your vision will pull you forward. Oops. So I want to ask you, we'll go back. There we go. I want you to think about a time that you were met with some serious lifing, a challenge that you overcame despite all obstacles because there was something on the other side. Because you were clear on your vision. I want you to write it down or just close your eyes and just remember back to that time. And I give you permission to remember it without taking on the heavy emotions of whatever was happening. Go and close your eyes. I can see you. In that dark night of the soul, how did the light of your vision provide the lighthouse? How did seeing it clearly, what you wanted to create or experience, pull you through? Give you hope. And with your eyes still closed as you take in a few breaths, do you have a vision right now that is big enough that if life starts lifing, it's going to pull you through? Or do you need to expand that vision a bit? Go ahead and open your eyes. The reason you're tapping right now is you've literally given yourself space this morning. Right? Giving yourself permission to be with other people, to be vulnerable, to feel. So just like in space, right? When we zoom out of the little details that are distracting us, making us mad, frustrating us, we can see the bigger picture. We can see the vision, we can tap back into it. And we can understand it's always within reach, but it is a conscious choice to zoom out, especially when it's not convenient. I just want to close with your vision. Here's the thing, your vision is your privilege. It's also your responsibility. And what your vision needs is you can't just allow it to be the seed that sits in the seed bag, right? It will never take sprout. Your vision deserves the action, the aligned action. Did everyone get your next step? What is the thing you can do? And that could be a thing to do today and every day. It could be the thing, it's just the next step in the path. You don't have to know the entire journey. You just need to know where you're going and where to put the next foot. And it deserves accountability, and that is what this community is. So when you show up in 30 days, hopefully your partner show up or whoever, I want you to be prepared to share how you've taken action. Aligned action. Just to understand that your vision, it's not out in the future, right? It literally, you are planting the seeds today. You're taking the steps today. It starts right now. You deserve to live it now. And so that's your action, is to share it. Share it with as many people as possible. An incredible visionary told me once, like, the success, I like to say the fulfillment of your vision is literally based on how many people you tell it to. How many people are you telling your vision to? Because you don't know who is that person you tell your vision to that's like, I have someone I want to connect you with. Oh my goodness, it's like storage wars. You don't know who's behind people, right? But the more people you share your vision with, first of all, the more you just speak it out, the more power it has. And other people how many of you want to help the person that's sat next to you? You want to cheer them on, and you believe in them, and you want to support them. People want to do this for you, but it's your responsibility to actually share it. And that's it. That's what
Wow,
I've
so
got.
before we close,
Yes.
I want to invite you, but let's go back to the last one,
Oh.
to experiment now in this juicy visionary plays. If you're willing to share your vision right now, we'll pass around a microphone, and you can tell us your next step. And I'll record it here, and this will be a compilation video eventually when I get around to making compilation of all these shares at the end, at some point, maybe the end of the year. That would be a good goal for me.
Yes.
The end of the
Perfect.
year to be like a little highlight of some of the biggest
Accountability.
takeaways. Accountability. Okay, I'll do it
Okay,
by the end of the year.
perfect.
A little compilation of this. So if you're willing, where's that microphone?
And by the way, if you don't want to stand up and volunteer, I am going to call that you do, because that means that you've still got some blocks around your vision. And this is a safe space
Right.
to share right now.
And Dominique, would you mind running the microphone to people who raise their hands?
Let's
Okay.
just check if it's on.
All right, Mark. Go
Hi,
ahead.
everyone. As you know, my name is Mark Angel. Many of you have heard about Get Up and Move, which is what I've talked about before. My vision is to not just I have a website, I have an app, I teach Get Up and Move, but I want to write a book that is a Get Up and Move workbook and guidebook, so that I can also do book tours, and I can get out there and share with people in detail how to get up and move every hour for at least 5 minutes, and how to do it in a way that is consistent, ongoing, and a life change.
And Mark, I have an amazing publisher I connect you with, and a speaker bureau if you want to speak on that.
Look at
Awesome.
that. You see how when you share it, things
I'll get you my
happen?
card.
Who needs some of that medicine? Who's next? Go ahead,
I
Anthony.
might do it with him because he's talking nutrition, and movement and nutrition go really well
I
together.
love it. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead. Stand up, Anthony.
All right.
You can stay right there. Yeah.
Okay. My name is Anthony Cruz, and yeah, it was kind of interesting that I sat next to Mark, but yeah, we shared our vision, and my vision is to, I'm a chef, and so my vision is to teach people how to eat healthier, teach them through a cookbook, like a travel cookbook kind of sort of thing. So I healed my own health problems with food, so I want to share with others.
Love it.
Nice.
Love it.
Next. Hands? Who's next? Oh, okay.
And then we're going to get someone from the other side of the room over here, too.
I'm an artist and coming out of the closet, being a shy one. But my vision is to really boldly be out there and share my art, and something that others could even visually see and be healed or be excited and awaken something within them. So I am taking actions, but I still, that fear and doubt seeps in. But I think just keeping on taking steps, taking workshops still, and putting myself out there is something that's gonna really help that boldness. Just putting myself in front of people.
Yes.
Putting my word
Yes.
in front of people.
Give her a round of hand. Round of applause. Okay, someone on this side. Who's next? Who's going to share their next step?
Yes,
Oh,
Diana.
Hi, I'm Valiana. My vision is empowering fulfillment in life through the power of sound. Thank you.
And every
my
time
first-
I go to her sound bowls, I literally go to outer space. No joke. So we want to talk about vision.
Yes, exactly.
Powerful.
Yes, thank you. And my first step is to contact Girls Inc.
Ooh, yes. Love it.
Okay. Who's,
Hi, I'm Carolani, and I spent a career in the public sector and in the corporate world, and lived under intense stress that whole time. And I retired a year ago. And I realized that that journey of inner transformation, to let go of that constant anxiety trauma loop, is a gift that a lot of people need. And so I am willing to step out of my little comfort zone and cocoon that I created for this last year and share those tools with people.
So good.
Who's got a next step? John. Thank you.
It's done.
Hey everyone, my name's John, and the vision that I'm holding right now is a Monterey in which every person has a community and group they feel at home in. And it's not just being here, it's the places with sound, it's the places with conversation, and having their people.
Love it. Love it.
And my action step is actually planning next week, today.
Ooh, good.
Wow, powerful.
I'm Denise Sanders, and my vision is to live for 30 more years in remission and to have my heart become pure gold so that I can let go. And my step that I've been taking is writing every morning at dawn and learning what all of the traumas are that I need to release, and so that it will open that heart from toes to head, you said, for the next 30 years.
Good.
Beautiful. What a commitment. It's a wholeness. Let's go, Katie.
Your outfit just like totally awakened this play inside of me. So my vision is to invite us all to step in playfully and creatively into our inner world, into that spirit of the inner child, into the inner landscape, into our triggers, into our pains, and to help us really embrace these moments as the playground for our possibilities, the playground for everything that we're destined to become, and to use animals and nature and movement and just like heartful self-discovery to become all we're meant to be. And my action to do it right now is to go home and sketch out 5 pages of the book that I'm writing right now.
Yes.
So good.
Yeah.
Well, I've always wanted to write a children's book, so I'm going to start writing it today.
Yes.
And it's about a giant Pacific octopus as the star character.
Love that.
I also have a great children's book publisher program if you need a recommendation. It's amazing.
My name is Sean, and I envision a world where couples in love celebrate love and laughter through a vehicle of entertainment, the game show Lovers Know Best.
Ooh.
That game show is going to be reaching 3,000 couples by this time next year, who will be telling 3,000 other couples that they need to be a part of the Lovers Know Best community.
So cool.
I'll be taking action today by reaching out to Viking Cruise Lines to see if they can be a sponsor.
Love it, Sean.
He did it. He handed
Let's
it to
go,
me.
Jen.
All right. Hi, I'm Jennifer Perlmutter. And my vision is to have a shared community art space where artists can create work, collaborate with each other, define and refine their visions, and share it with the world in order that we can create an even better world together, to have these safe spaces you're talking about, John. And my next action was to actually reach out to Denise Sanders, and she's here. So thank you, Spirit. Thank you.
Beautiful. Okay. Turn that off for me. So, Creative Mornings exists here when we're here last Friday of every month, but it also exists on Instagram. It's been pretty quiet. And so I had this idea, if you guys would join me, if you take your action step, which I hope all of you do, take a photo and just tag Creative Mornings into it so that we can all collectively celebrate you and connect with you online and support you. We can say, you know, I see you, I see what you're doing. Would you guys join me in that?
Yes. And tag me also, and I'll reshare it.
And she has quite a lot of following, so I hope you take her up on that, okay? Yeah. Look up Creative Mornings MRY on Instagram. You'll find us.
And I'm Rebecca, Rebecca, and then my last name is CAF as in Frank, IERO, Rebecca Cafiero.
If we can all show her our appreciation for the beautiful vision she's ignited in all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Did we go back there? Oh, okay.
That's it.
Thank you.
So next month, it's not going to be the last Friday of the month because it's really close to Thanksgiving. It's the Friday before. I think it's November 22nd. And Dominique Ann, our introductory speaker, is going to be our keynote speaker. And the theme is thread. She's a designer and a body worker and mover, and she's going to get you in your bodies following that thread wherever it takes you, okay? See you next month. Thank you for coming. Bye, everybody.